What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by AUTOBAHN. My name is Martin and this is a BMW Z3 of 2002 with the 2.2 liter straight six engine. Now I think this is the BMW heritage that they should look back to and think of what they should do in the future, because this is such a perfect example of why people love BMW and why it's such an enthusiast brand. So this is Joel's car, and he saw the video that we did with the Z3 Coupe, the 2.8, and he thought, okay, I also have a Z3, it's a roadster and it also has a straight six engine, so let's apply to AUTOBAHN, which we're really thankful for, because he thought, okay, the car isn't all that powerful, it's 170 horsepower, but I think it's not all about power. That really summarizes this car. It's really not all about power. Yes, it's fun to have a lot of power on the Autobahn, but I think the whole driving experience is way more important than the actual performance. And this is, again, a perfect example of that fact. So let's start with wheels, tires and brakes. So Joel fitted this 17-inch kit with Hankook Ventus tires on here. It's a 17-inch kit with 225 section front tires. As standard they came on 16-inch. I think a beautiful timeless wheel design. He also fitted new brake discs, new brake pads. The tires are as good as new, so yeah, that's what we really care about when we do these videos. In the rear though, we have a 245 section tire. So that actually is quite a lot of rubber for just 170 horsepower. It's rear wheel drive, of course, and you know, you want to slide it around a bit. So the more rubber you have, the more resistance there will be before it starts sliding. We don't have a limited slip diff, but it is quite hard, even in these damp conditions, to break traction with a 245 section rear tire. I think the Z3, one of the best looking BMWs ever. I really do like them. This long bonnet, which is really round and friendly, and then that small kidney grille, the big headlights, it is really beautiful. And then these little outlets right here. It's not only a very handsome car, but also very friendly. It's not really all that sporty or aggressive. It's round, it's cute, it's just an awesome piece of design. So you also have that in the rear section. This is the wide body. So the pre-facelift cars came with the wide body if you had a 6-cylinder, but from 99 onwards you had the facelift model, and all models got the wide body. So let's have a look at the engine. By the way, it also has a Siemens sports exhaust on there, or a silencer, which gives it that sweet straight six sound, or emphasizes that. So long bonnet opening up like that, and there we have it, cramped in there, a straight six M54 engine. So before the facelift, this was a 2 liter with 150 horsepower, and this 2.2 liter now has 170 horsepower and 210 newton meters of torque. And as you can see, it's black sapphire schwarz. So Joel bought the car like a year ago and then spent 3,000 euros, somewhere around that number, to properly maintain it and catch up with some maintenance. So he had some airco stuff done and well, brakes, tires, stuff like that. So it's in a very good condition, and when you drive it you really notice that. So the Z3 was sort of an E36 platform, only shortened, and on the rear axle it still has some E30 bits and bobs, and it really drives like that, like a mixture of E36 grown-upness and E30 playfulness, sort of that balance you feel like. And then in the interior, awesome, just awesome. BMW individual in this cognac color and wooden trim on the handbrake lever, the gear lever, and in the center console. And on the steering wheel, which is an M Sport steering wheel, you have this contrast piece of leather with contrast stitching, again in cognac. And you also find that here in the door panel. So the best thing about the Z3 is the fact that you could get straight sixes in all kinds of tastes and variants, and even a Z3M. Actually, there were 3 different types of Z3M, with the S50, the S52 and the S54. So the S50 is the E36 M3 engine, S54 is the E46 engine, and S52 was for the American market. So that was without individual throttle bodies and stuff like that. And the best thing about it is its weight. It's 1245 kilograms, which is virtually nothing these days. I mean, this weighs half of what a modern M5 weighs. So can you imagine that? Just putting 2 Z3s on top of each other, and then you have one M5. That's crazy. So we also have heated seats, which is really nice in a convertible. And then traction control, we're going to turn that off, as obviously, like that. We have a 5-speed gearbox and a lovely sound. So we don't have a limited slip diff. So in the end, it will just be 1 tire fire and 1 wheel hopping. But nonetheless, this is just marvelous, really. What a sweet engine this M54 is. It is so silky smooth, it's unbelievable. Even after 214,000 kilometers, it feels like new. This has been properly maintained, and let's see what it will do 0 to 100. And that is factory claim 0 to 100 in 7.9 seconds. I actually managed to do a 7.8. I mean, that is awesome. After 25 years and over 200,000 kilometers, this M54 still is in perfect shape. And Joel had a little bit of tuning done to raise the rev limiter. So, you know, it's a naturally aspirated engine, so you would expect it to produce a little more power the more revs it does, and that's maybe why we're beating the factory claim time. But it's really nice that you have those extra, I think, 600 RPM to play with. And it is very rewarding to use those extra RPM, because in the end, like at top of the rev range, it sounds really, really good. Just super sweet and symphonic. Oh, that's a good sound. So 1245 kilos, that means the suspension doesn't have to work all that much, and it feels, again, it feels like new. It is so soft, and there's so much movement in this car, but in a good way. You really feel everything happening, and it's very communicative and just an awesome drive. You're just sort of playing with the body roll, and that's something a 90s car, and especially a 90s BMW. Even the M cars had that character. That's why they're so nice to drive on a B road, I feel like. Okay, let's see how this closes up. I think we have to pull this down, and then there should be a lever right there. like that. Yes sir. And she is closed. And the whole experience driving this car, really, it is such a bonus to have this BMW individual spec. It makes it just that bit more special. And as with the 2.8 Z3, this 5-speed is just marvelous. It's perfect. Such a nice short throw, and it just clicks into place like that. Awesome. Also the pedal positioning is perfect for heel and towing, and just everything about this car is made to really optimize the driving experience. And it's all about the driving. BMW, it's all about the driving. It really is. Forget about the stupid screens, forget about 20 different colors of interior lighting. This is your heritage. This is what we want. Straight 6 engines, manual gearbox, low weight. I know it's virtually impossible to do nowadays, but it should be possible. I mean, Porsche is doing it. You are doing it. I mean, we've had that Z4 M40i Heritage Edition, whatever it was called, with the manual gearbox, and that really is the modern interpretation of this car, and we want more of those cars, I feel like. So it will do the factory claimed 0 to 100 time. Let's see if we can do the factory claimed top speed of 224 kilometers an hour. So the facelift model had some extra insulation, but it is still quite loud. But then again, this car isn't made to do top speed runs with. Everything getting better because of the low weight, the braking, the suspension. It is all so nice. It's so communicative, and you don't need big brakes if you don't have a lot of weight. You don't need a very expensive damper system if you don't have a heavy car. The simplicity of this car is what makes it such a unique and perfect driving experience. Simplicity is what makes a great car and an enjoyable car. So 100 to 200, it was a little under 30 seconds, which is for 170 horsepower just perfect. And I have to admit, the 2.8 was a lot better than this car, but then again, that was maybe the most fun car I've driven this year. Like the biggest surprise to me. We're always talking about 100 to 200 times and top speed and stuff like that. An M5 nowadays has over 700 horsepower, but you can't even use it. This you can use everywhere at any time, in every condition. It really is an eye-opening experience once again. So if you are looking for a nice convertible to enjoy in the weekend, or use it as a daily like Joel does, a straight 6 Z3 might be the car for you, because even though they're 25 years old or even older, they really are sort of perfect. You can modify them quite cheaply. You can, you know, do suspension kits, you can do engine swaps even at a reasonable price point. So there is a lot of fun to be had with a Z3. So go hunt one down on the internet and come back and come visit us when you're done with the car, because I have a Z3 crush. So if you have a Z3, a nice one, or a Z3M, I'm really looking for one of those, or a Z4, hit us up. And for now, I want to thank you for watching. Go subscribe to the channel, go check out this video, or enjoy your lazy Sunday with the POV reviews playlist. Thank you guys, bye.